like the way I pop out. Let's go hit Lennox. Another week, another knockout. A different city. My partner whip a 7-4 now. He think he Wimby, but I'ma ride this Chevy madly until it's empty. And Pastor don't take dirty money.
Yeah, come on. This is it. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Man Takes Shoes Out of Box, the episode where you get to sit there and watch me take some shoes out of a box and tell you what I think of them. Today we are talking about these, the big bangers, the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Medium Olive. These came out last Saturday to obviously a very ruckus reception. They were 145 pounds retail or around $160. And I'm delighted to report that I came up on these for retail. That's right, the Nike Sneakers app did me a huge solid. And before you want to get mad at me and call me out for being that guy that always seems to get the dubs, you always get the hyped up pairs, bro, this is my first pair of Travis Jordans of any note that I've ever copped for retail. So if you're annoyed at me, you can f off. Before we get into the review, let's just quickly talk about the release. I don't need to remind you that this is probably one of the most hyped up sneakers, if not the most hyped up sneakers of the entire year. Not just because it's a Travis Scott Jordan, but because it happens to also be a really nice colorway. And in the build up to the release, a lot of us were really excited to hear that they were finally going to be doing some justice on the numbers. There were rumored to be something like 180,000, maybe 200,000 pairs of these made available, making them the biggest Travis 1 Low release ever. But in the build up to the release, we started to get that same sinking feeling, seeing whole bunches of sizes going to resellers, especially this video here from this single reseller who seems to be in receipt of something like 1,000 or 2,000 pairs. I'm not gonna lie, seeing these videos and images really pisses me off. In terms of the fairness of the release, look, you're gonna have one of two attitudes. If you got these for retail, you're probably gonna think that the release was really fair. Oh yeah, this release was hella fair. Absolutely, yeah. I got a dub, a whole bunch of my buddies got dubs. I saw a lot of people online flexing their W's. In fact, this is probably one of the fairest Travis releases that has ever gone down, ever. And anyone that tells you any different is just mad salty they didn't cop. And then on the flip side, if you took an L on this release, you're probably going to be thinking that it is one of the most unfair Travis Scott releases of all time. Yeah, that release was absolutely trash. I got kicked off the app, it was glitchy. I went into like 48 raffles and got nothing but L's. The whole game is fixed, it's rigged, the whole system is conspiring against me, and anyone that tells you any different is completely full of cap. In terms of the packaging, you get the familiar Travis 1 Low box at this point, a little bit of shiny on the top, the brown Nike logo on the top. It's kind of a level up, as you'd expect, from just your regular Jordan 1 box. Opening up the box and getting in there, you can see you've got the familiar Travis Scott pink paper. And one thing of interest is I noticed mine wasn't really that flush or that clean, as if someone had kind of tampered with these or opened these up in the stock room or something, because the paper was all sort of creased up, as you can see right on opening. Getting into the sneakers, it is a really nice colorway in my opinion. You've got a really nice blend of the olive contrasted against the white. You've got a nice hit of black on the swoosh, and then you've got the sailed out midsole. So in terms of the color blocking, the color combination, it is really nice in my opinion. In fact, it's very similar color blocking to the reverse mochas, and we'll get into some comparisons in a bit between these and some of the other Travis 1 Lows in my collection. In terms of the materials, you've got this really nice fine olive suede on the mid panel, as well as on the toe box. You've got this sort of synthetic textile olive colored material on the tongue, white leather around the eye stays, as well as the vamp, as well as the mudguard around the front of the shoe, and the same leather material features around the back of the shoe. Very lightly padded synthetic material around the liner. Got the Cactus Jack insoles as well, which are pretty firm, and you've got quite a plush black leather swoosh, which feels nice and soft to the touch. In terms of the Travis Scott details, it's all pretty familiar. It's all pretty much the same old at this point. You've got a little patch down the side of the tongue which says Cactus Jack. You've also got the Cactus Jack writing along the medial side of the mid part of the panel. You've also got the smiley face stitched into the back of the left shoe, traditional Jordan wings logo on the back of the right shoe, and the insoles are a little bit different. You've got the Travis Scott insole on the right, and then you've got the Cactus Jack on the left, and they come with 3 sets of laces. You get a white pair that comes somewhat pre-installed. You also get an extra pair of dark laces as well as this pink lace, and I went ahead and chucked in the white laces and the pink laces as you tend to do. And I'm not really that sure which pair I like the most at this point. Probably neither of the ones I've chosen to install at this point. I actually copped a UK 9. Normally, I go for a UK 9.5. So yeah, had I actually gone for the size that I would normally go for, I probably wouldn't have hit. Now, in terms of the quality control, I know some of you guys out there are probably going to be interested in how the QC is on these pairs. At least on my pair, it's generally pretty good, but there are one or two little blemishes. And these, I think, are pretty much just glue stains. I've got a little bit of glue guff here on the right swoosh, the right shoe. There's also a little bit of glue guff. I'm pretty sure it's glue guff. I hope it's glue guff on the rear medial quarter of the left shoe. But apart from that, nothing really too bad in terms of the QC. And so let's throw these on foot and take a look at how they look, and I will tell you how they feel.
I know you like the way I pop out. Let's go hit Lennox. Another week, another knockout. A different city. My partner whip a 7-4 now. He think he Wimby, but I'ma ride this Chevy Mally until it's empty. And Pastor don't take dirty money. I like it filthy. She my Achilles. I'm out for millies, not just for memories. Been on a mission. Did I mention it before? I can't be slipping till I'm reaping what I sow.
So yeah, as said, I went a half size down to what I would normally wear. These are a UK 9. I'd normally get a UK 9.5, and they fit absolutely fine. Like I said, when it comes to the Jordan 1 lows, I feel like it's a shoe that you can pretty much get away with going a half size down. In fact, some people I know even like to go a half size down just because of the way Jordan 1 lows fit. In terms of the comfort, nothing crazy, nothing to write home about comfort-wise, but they are fine. In terms of how they look, I think it's a good-looking shoe. Look, the color blocking is really sweet. The aesthetic at this point is pretty tried and tested. You're going to be doing pretty well to not pull these off in some kind of an outfit. So all in all, I think these look really dope on foot. So the big question is, where do these rank among the other Travis 1 lows? Unfortunately, I no longer have my OG Mocha low that I copped last year. I sold these a couple of months ago in order to raise up some money to buy a new computer. And so at this point, my Travis 1 low collection is only comprised of the last olive colorway, the women's, as well as the reverse mochas, as well as the fragments. And so let's start off by comparing them to the previous olive release. In terms of the color blocking, okay, it's pretty close. You know, these are both very similar in terms of the blocking. I think this is pretty close. I would actually go for the recently released medium olives over the women's olives. But in terms of the quality, I would say that the recently released medium olives have better quality. These ones here, the women's olive, have shocking quality on the leather. Like, I have worn these, and as you can see, they are pretty beaten up, but these have just aged terribly. It is a really bad quality Travis, in my opinion. Next up, the fragments. Look, again, this is another tricky one because the fragments are pretty legendary. They're also one of the most limited pairs. They are really wearable. If I had to have one or the other, I would probably just edge out the, I don't know, man. Taking into account recency bias, I actually think the medium olives are nicer than the fragments. In terms of the quality though, the fragments have pretty trash quality in my opinion. The medium olives look, at least at this point, to be a much better quality than the fragments. And then we have the reverse mochas. I actually think the reverse mochas are a little bit nicer. I'm a big fan of this colorway, and the quality on the reverse mochas is probably the best quality out of all of the Travis lows, notwithstanding the original OGs. I think the Black Phantoms are pretty meh. I think the Canaries are trash. So for me, I think I would put it in the following order. I would go the OGs first, then I would go the reverse mochas, and then I would go the medium olives, and then I'd probably go the fragments, and then I'd go the recently released olives, probably the Phantoms, and then the Canaries. Something like that. What do you guys think of that list? Right, so let's talk about the resell. No doubt there are a few of you guys out there that are maybe thinking about pulling the trigger on these, and so let's kind of talk about where they're at right now. Right now they're settling around about 530 odd pounds. Now you can probably get them a bit cheaper on eBay, or you can probably find them a bit cheaper through private sales on like Facebook sneaker groups and all that type of stuff. I think the market currently is sort of between 400 and 550 odd pounds, depending on the platform that you're using. Meaning that these are actually one of the more affordable Travis 1 lows that have released in recent times. Now I know some of you guys out there are probably going to say, what are you talking about, bro? 500 pounds or 600 bucks, that is a ridiculous amount of money to pay for some Travis 1 lows. I wouldn't pay over $150. Like, I'm not talking to you guys. So if you want to try and come at me and say, bro, 500 pounds or $600 is an abominable price for the Travis 1 lows, it is not. It is a decent price if you consider what other Travis 1 lows have gone for in the market in the past. Now, I do think that prices will probably settle over the next couple of weeks and probably even dip a little bit. What's happening right now is a lot of people are FOMO buying. As people start to get their pairs in, as people start to cop on the resale market, and once the market sort of settles where the buyers aren't so many, then the prices are going to stagnate a little bit and probably end up settling a little bit lower than what they are right now. So if you're patient, I would still wait maybe another week, maybe another week and a half to buy your pair. And so where does this rank in terms of sneaker releases of the year? Look, it's pretty clear and obvious at this point that Travis Scott still has a massive stranglehold on the hype in sneaker culture. I can't think of another shoe in recent times that has been brought out to this scale. 200,000 pairs, has sold out so quick, has had so many people excited about copping them and disappointed that they didn't cop them, as well as commanding the type of money these have had in the resale market. He is still that guy. He is still cooking. And so this sneaker is definitely going to be featuring in a lot of people's top 5, top 10 sneakers of the year list. Because I managed to come up on these for retail, obviously I'm going to be throwing them up in my top 10 for sure. I just think the colorway is clean. Big fan of the Travis 1 lows and have absolutely no problem admitting that I certainly like the hype. I mean, it's part of what makes a lot of the sneaker stuff exciting. And there we go. Those are my thoughts. The Travis 1 Low medium olives. Very happy to get these into the collection. I've already been dancing in them. These are going to be regular in the rotations for sure. And thank you very much for taking the time to watch. Let me know what you thought down below. And as always, guys, I really appreciate the support on the channel. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care for now. And peace.
Another week, another knockout, a different city. My partner whip a 7-4 now. He think he Wimby.